take your seat. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
You can introduce yourself, please, to all of us. Tell us about something about yourself.
Sir, my name is Rida Zahra. I got my primary year education from all over Punjab, which played a pivotal role in shaping the person that I am today. I'm very social, very open to meeting new people because of that. I did my O-levels from Cathedral School. It was a missionary school. Again, it taught me a lot of things, studying with people from all sorts of faiths, and I did my A-levels from Lahore Grammar School and then my bachelor's from Lahore School of Economics. In my free time, I like spending time with my dogs. I have a lot of them, and I also like traveling whenever I get the time and money.
So, why you are looking for the civil services?
Sir, 2-3 primary reasons. First is, sir, I believe because I have looked up to my father and my brothers, and growing up I've seen them in service and I've seen them do a lot of good. Therefore, I wanted to do the same for the people and to do the same that they did for the people. Second is, sir, I believe that after once it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Once you've fulfilled your physiological and your social needs, you climb up to self-achievement, and I think there's no better achievement than competitive examination. So there's a need to feel good about yourself and to achieve something in life. That was another reason I wanted to join civil service. That's primary 2 reasons, yes.
Okay, so you have been in law business. You have done this law business economics also?
In A-levels, yes, sir. A-level. In my advanced
and marketing in your graduation?
My graduation, yes, sir.
What is the size of GDP? Pakistan ka kya hai aajkal? What is?
Sir, if you would allow me to take a guess, I cannot recall the exact amount. It was close to, sir, I believe, I'm sorry.
Chalo, chhod de. How do you see the economic future of Pakistan, keeping in view the current scenario?
Sir, I believe that there are a lot of challenges being faced by Pakistan today, and we have a lot of constraints, especially after COVID in 2020. We do not have a lot of opportunities to grow in a lot of areas. The trade is restricted at the moment. Also, because we have been going to IMF, for this was the 3rd consecutive year for Pakistan, 3rd consecutive term for Pakistan in which we were going to IMF. So we also have to follow their plans and how they want the structural adjustment programs, for example, which we have to follow if we are to take loan from them. So we have a lot of constraints, and I believe there are a lot of challenges. However, I think we are, at least in the last quarter, there have been some growth and there have been some positive in terms of trade as well, in terms of export, and we are going towards positive growth, and as compared to other countries which are going in negative growth for their exports. I believe that in the coming year things are going to stabilize to some extent after once the COVID thing goes away, and once Pakistan needs to work a little bit harder in terms of its economics. But yes.
Now, there is a criticism on CPAC that it is a debt trap for Pakistan because we have to pay about $6.7 billion, which is less than what we have to pay to the IMF. Do you think it is so?
Sir, I believe that it is not a debt trap. I do believe that there are no black and whites in this. There's a lot of gray area. So when we say that we owe a lot to IMF, that is absolutely true. And considering our economic situation, it is not going to be easy repaying that sort of debt. Because our foreign currency reserves are not in a great place right now. However, sir, I also believe that Pakistan, this is a great opportunity for Pakistan to grow in the first place. We do not have a lot of projects, this level, massive scale projects in Pakistan available right now that can give Pakistan the opportunity to grow its exports to such a large extent. So I believe that though giving the loans back is going to be very challenging for Pakistan, but if CPEC was not available, I think the opportunity available for Pakistan to work with China so closely, the port that connects us, the Gwadar port, is a great project. We have our 10 SEZs, our special economic zones. So all of this is an opportunity for Pakistan to grow, and growth is the first step in repaying the loans. So I think it cannot be called a debt trap. It can be called a challenge in repaying the loan. However, debt trap, I believe, sir, is a stretch. I would call it a stretch, yes. It's an opportunity for Pakistan for growth.
There is a perception that there is a shift of Pakistan government foreign policy, and we are tilting more to a new bloc than the previous one, where we used to be, say, Saudis and US, but now we're tilting to another bloc. Can you make your comments on that?
Sir, I believe it has, if we look at historically, Pakistan has always had a very hyphenated foreign policy. From the very beginning, since 1947, we have always had a tilt towards United States particularly. After that, we also had a tilt towards Saudi Arabia. There was also this geostrategic partnership between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, and we were exporting arms and these things. And therefore, we were also taking a lot of funding from Saudi Arabia, so we always had a natural tilt towards that. However, in the recent times, we have been seeing that because of CPEC can be one reason. Also, there is, when Pakistan joined the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in 2017, they have been some sort of coalition with not just China in terms of trade, but also with Russia as well. And I believe now Pakistan is dehyphenating its foreign policy towards not just Russia, China and Iran bloc, but also we're moving towards Turkey, and we're moving towards Malaysia, which I think is very good for Pakistan, because associating with just one country, Saudi Arabia or just United States, is not very favorable for Pakistan, in terms that we can be isolated, diplomatically isolated, if we just stick to one or two countries. So I think now that we are moving towards Malaysia, Turkey and other countries and associating with the bigger bloc, I think it will be very favorable for Pakistan. I also believe that we should not take sides in this particular scenario. Like, siding with just Russia or China bloc would not be very favorable for Pakistan, or completely leaving United States Saudi bloc, because we have worked very closely with Saudi, and we have worked very closely with United States over the past 6-7 decades. So I believe we need to keep a neutral approach when it comes to our foreign policy, and we need to associate with ourselves with each and every country when it comes to our geo-economics. As Pakistan is struggling economically, we need to focus on trade with each and every country rather than picking sides or picking blocks.
Okay, thank you.
What strategy will you propose for better economic development of the country?
Sir, I would first like to apologize. I'm not an economics student for the last at least 6-7 years, so I cannot go into nitty-gritties of economics. However, sir, first I believe that there are certain things. For example, I believe that in order for our foreign exchange reserves first need to be considered, because if we're not paying for our imports, for example, oil, which is a very big determinant in the growth of our economy. If we cannot pay for our imports, we cannot actually sustain our economic model. So we need to fund on our foreign currency reserves through investments, through whatever chance we can get to get something in Pakistan. That would be our first step. Second would be our export infrastructure. We need to increase our revenue through improving our export infrastructure and increasing our exports, so we can actually have a more better exports and better economic conditions in Pakistan.
Which are the major sectors which contribute towards the GDP?
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not fully aware of that, but if you would allow me to take a guess, I would say textile must be one of the leading our export, because we are exporting cotton, and we are also exporting manufactured cloth in Pakistan. I have read dried dates, no, I'm sorry, I would not.
Services, industry, agriculture, and and foreign remittances. Foreign remittances is a big source of foreign exchange to Pakistan. What do you think could be done to improve its flow towards Pakistan? Make it still better?
Sir, I believe that one of our highest foreign remittances are from Saudi Arabia, UAE, and these countries. And I think we need to, I would start at the base level, sir, that in order to improve remittances, we first have to send people abroad. And for that, we need to improve the skill set in people that we have here. So we need to have more vocational training centers and the sort of training that is required to send people abroad so they can actually be a productive member of their services, and they can then therefore send money to Pakistan. So I believe it starts at teaching people the relevant skills at this level that they can be more productive.
Okay. How serious is the crime of money laundering?
Sir, I believe that at least right now, Pakistan is in a big trouble because of this, economically as well as.
What is money laundering?
Sir, money laundering is illegal transfer of money through informal channels. It has 3 steps. It's placement, layering, and then integration.
Yes. That is correct. That is correct. Placement and layering. That is
how money is.
How you hide your money, conceal your dirty money. That is money laundering. So sending money abroad is not money laundering. The very act of yours that you're trying to, in order to hide your dirty money which you have earned through corruption or through crime, what you do in that regard, that is money. You open bank accounts, you buy property, Benami properties, you buy land, so that is money laundering, washing your dirty money. So coming, you are answering my question, how serious is this?
Sir, I believe that right now, Pakistan needs to take some drastic steps to curb this, because we have been in the FATF grey list for quite a while now, and that is proving detrimental for Pakistan, not just in terms of economics, but also in terms of the Pakistan's image abroad. And that has also hindered investments for Pakistan in here. I believe that, sir, Pakistan has been taking some steps, and Pakistan has been able to at least take care of 21 out of the 27 items in the IMF list, and we are only left with 6 or 7, and we have time till February to do that. So I believe that it has been a big problem for Pakistan, but Pakistan is taking the necessary steps in the right direction to actually curb money laundering. And I believe that with a few more measurements and maybe introducing a few more bills that are aimed and directed at curbing this menace would prove to be beneficial. And
Okay. Iran has increased the rate of its uranium enrichment. It has raised it to 20, almost, very nearing 20% from 3. Why Iran is doing that?
Sir, I believe one of the reasons could be after President Trump's unilateral withdrawal from the JCPOA, Iran was not left. There were a lot of sanctions on Iran again. So once the the whole pact was violated, Iran did not have a lot to work with in that particular situation, since it was adhering to the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action till this time. And when it was unilaterally withdrawn, Iran was no longer bound to actually follow the uranium enrichment numbers anymore. Therefore,
I think Iran will be able to make atomic bomb with that level of enrichment?
Sir, I do not know the physics of it, but I believe that Iran is going in that direction, but there are a lot of national and international pressures. Iran's leading scientist, physicist who was working on the plan was assassinated a month or 2 back. I'm not exactly sure the date, but there are a lot of hindrances in the plan, so I'm not sure if Iran would be able to go ahead with it. And also, the new president of United States, Joe Biden, has committed that he would enter the JCPOA again and intend to work with Iran in this scenario. So I believe that it might not be entirely possible for Iran in the coming months to actually make her.
What is red tapeism?
So red tapeism is a lot of paperwork involved, or when it comes to actually going ahead with, if we talk in terms of establishing new businesses, so red tapeism would be difficulty when it comes to paperwork and all the steps that are involved in this, which makes it difficult for a process to smoothly function.
Okay, one small question from the history of Pakistan. What is the importance of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and Aligarh movement in the history of Pakistan?
Sir Syed Ahmad Khan played a pivotal role, especially when it comes to the education system and the education for Muslims in that time, which was a factor that played a part in establishment of Pakistan. So before Sir Syed Ahmad Khan started his efforts toward educating the Muslims, Muslims were mainly not in the center stage when it comes to politics in the subcontinent, as well as in other scenarios. Muslims were lagging behind in every situation, and Hindus were taking the center stage in terms of government jobs and other places. So when Sir Syed Ahmad Khan came in, he created this awareness among the people of subcontinent about learning English, about learning languages, about getting the education, not just the education, Islamic education, but also the Western education, so they can compete with the not only Hindus but also the foreigners who were working there. So I believe that was the first foundations that Muslims actually the first step in actually gaining their dreams and getting them towards that dream.
Okay, how can we control gender-based violence in Pakistan?
Sir, gender-based violence is a big problem for Pakistan right now, and Pakistan is having a hard time curbing that because it is often garbed in this religious thing as well, that it's somehow justified in terms of that. And Pakistan is taking some steps in that direction to actually curb gender-based violence. We have, in the last 10 years, taken up a lot of bills. We have acid prevention bill, we have a Zainab bill, we also have harassment at workplace laws. We are going in the right direction when it comes to gender-based violence. However, I also believe that there is a difference when it comes to these laws on paper and in practical. There are still there's a lot lacking on the practical level. A lot of cases are not reported because of there's a lot of hassle when it is involved when it comes to reporting these cases. There are a lot of shame associated with gender-based violence and domestic violence, because of which women don't necessarily report. So I believe on paper there needs to be some more amendments, but I also believe that the practicality needs to be focused on how we can actually promote women from coming out, how we can actually increase women to report these crimes, and then take decisive measures so they are not hindered, other women are not hindered to actually go ahead with it.
What is a decent work, and what is the contribution of a decent work in economic growth?
So I have to apologize, I'm not aware of that. I will read on it later though, I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir. So, Rida, tell me something about Khushab.
Sir, Khushab is very different from other districts in a way that it has a lot of different land features. So Khushab, if we start from Soon se Kesar, Khushab has mountains. It's a mountainous area. Then if we come down, there is Muhar, which is called the mountain base. If we go further, we have a river Jihlam tributary passing. So it's also there is also river side there. And when we move towards my tehsil, which is Nurpur, it's a desert. So if we actually see this district, we have mountainous area, we have a desert, we have a riverbed, and it cannot be seen in a lot of districts.
Have you ever lived there?
Sir, I go there very often.
But you never lived there?
Not for long, sir.
What are the 6 P's of marketing?
Sir, product, price, placement, promotion. I'm sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it.
In hobbies and sports, you have written animals. Would you make us understand what is this hobby, animals?
Sir, I have a lot of animals at home, so that takes up a lot of my time. I also rescue animals.
Don't you think that there is an appropriate word to describe it? Keeping pets. Animals itself can't be described as an hobby.
Sir, yes, you're absolutely right.
Okay, your favorite president in the history of United States and why?
Sir, I would say sir, I would like to go with Roosevelt.
Which Roosevelt?
Franklin Roosevelt, sir.
Why?
Sir, I believe that he did a lot for his own country, and in that terms, after the Great Depression of 1929, he took a lot of steps, the New Deal, the first and the second New Deal, that actually brought United States out of the Great Depression. And I know that World War I.
What were the main features of New Deal?
Sir, one of the most major and important was the Social Security Act of the 1935, which is still applicable to this point, in which it established that it was the state's responsibility to actually take care of its citizens in terms of health and education.
What do you know about Iran-Contra-Gate affair?
Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not aware of that.
Okay, coming towards your business administration measures, what is the conclusion or the major findings of Hawthorne studies?
Sir, I cannot recall it at this point.
Thank you.
Okay, let's conclude this interview session, and we can go for the debriefing if you like.
Yes, sir.
If you have got any question, you can ask.
No, sir, thank you.
Okay. Rida, I think you are very good. Your communication skills are very fine. You are articulate. You are confident. You are intelligent. I think you are very good, but you are competing with the very good from Punjab. So you have to keep it up, and you need to improve your knowledge. And when is your interview?
Sir, my interview would be April, May. I'm in the second phase.
So you are lucky कि तुम्हारा अभी आज हमारी मुलाकात होगी. तो this is a baseline where you are. So you need to work very hard, because पंजाब के कोटे में जब आप आएंगी ना, तो वहाँ तो दे आर द बेस्ट. वैसे वो काफ़ी मेहनत करके आते हैं और अच्छी इंस्टीट्यूशन से आते हैं. सो यू हैव टू वर्क वेरी हार्ड. दिस इज़ माई एडवाइस. टुडे वी प्लेस यू इन अ वेरी गुड पोजीशन. आप सर
ठीक है, आई थिंक इट इज़ मोर लेस द सेम. और नॉलेज ज़रा बेहतर करें. बाकी आई थिंक रेस्ट इज ओके, फाइन.
तो है ना इस किस्म के जो टॉपिक्स हैं, मसलन रूल ऑफ लॉ, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, क्लाइमेट चेंज, इस किस्म के जो है टॉपिक्स, ये ज़रा अच्छी तरह जो है ना, अब ये जो मैंने जो आपसे पूछा था कि जो है ना कि इसमें डिसेंट वर्क जो है, इट इज़ वन ऑफ द गोल्स ऑफ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट्स. जो 17 गोल्स हैं ना, उसमें से वन ऑफ द गोल्स इज जो है वो ये था कि डिसेंट वर्क फॉर इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ. तो बेसिकली ये चीज़ें पढ़ लें, अगर नहीं पढ़ी हुई तो थोड़ा सा रिफ्रेश कर लें.
जी सर. अच्छा, आपको थोड़ा सा एक डीब्रीफिंग सेशन डिटेल में चाहिए. यू कैन हैव इट विद मुरीद और मी और एनीवन एल्स. एक तो आप थ्रू आउट द इंटरव्यू यू सैट विद क्रॉस लेग्स लाइक दिस, ठीक है, विच इज़ नॉट अ पॉजिटिव. स्ट्रेट बैठे. दूसरा, थोड़ा सा, आई नो इट्स योर नेचुरल, आप बहुत तेज़ बोलती हैं. अब उस तेज़ बोलने में यू यूज्ड 6 or 7 सेल्फ कॉइंड वर्ड्स जो डिक्शनरी में कहीं नहीं मिलेंगे किसी को, ठीक है. डजेंट मैटर, दैट्स द बेसिक पर्पज यू केम हियर फॉर. आई कांटेक्ट आप बीच में लूज करती हैं. आप बड़ा अच्छा पॉइंट अच्छे तरीके से कन्वे कर रही होती हैं. बीच में जब आपका थॉट प्रोसेस टूटता है तो देन यू स्टार्ट स्टेयरिंग टुवर्ड्स सीलिंग और समथिंग लाइक दैट. उसको कोशिश करें अवॉइड करें। और ऑप्शनल्स आपके वीक हैं, ठीक है, दे आर कंसिडरेबली वीक। तो बाकी यही है, दैट्स इट।
तो ये जो है ना दिस प्रोफाइल, ये आपका इंटरव्यू इन्हीं 80% इंटरव्यू इन्हीं चीज़ों पे होगा, राइट फ्रॉम नेम रिदा, यहाँ से शुरू होगा और फिर एंड तक जाएगा।
आपके नाम पे भी बहुत बात होगी,
हाँ,
और आपके सेट पे भी शायद बात होगी।
You need to be very thorough on these points because this is वो वहाँ इसी की वेरिफिकेशन हो रही होती है, ठीक है ना। अदरवाइज यू आर गुड, माशाल्लाह, बाकी आपको एडवाइस मिल गई है, ठीक है ना। बेस्ट ऑफ लक।